Hello, we're back with more Demon Lord Reincarnation. Where am I? Oh, I'm in the little guard chamber, guard post it's called, in the middle of the first floor of the dungeon. So my party is, as you see here, we've got a ton of hit points. We've got a ridiculous amount of hit points, so that's pretty good. Actually, wow, he fell behind again. He sort of felt like he was catching up on hit points, but Ari the Executioner is again lagging well behind the others on hit points. He has ridiculous dexterity, but he still gets beat up more than the others do. Anyway, let's go back to Ari. So you notice here, if you were quick on the screenshot button, maybe I'll try it. Try hitting print screen. I was way too late. Come on. Maybe I did it. Let's see. Oh, close. Anyway, I have a previous screenshot of him here with no UI. I caught it. Well, that was from a video I recorded, so I could just frame by frame that and get the exact frame I wanted. So this is the Executioner. Why am I... Well, so last episode of this playthrough, I did a little tutorial on whipping up some artwork in the style of Demon Lord Reincarnation, in case you wanted to make your own graphics that look like Demon Lord Reincarnation for, let's say, video thumbnails. That was an extremely dirty, quick and dirty tutorial, and I was actually looking at it, and parts of it were bothering me with their inaccuracy to the real image, and so I actually found out some much better ways to get the Demon Lord look. So I'm going to go over those. Also, I went and poked a bit at my map and massaged it a little bit. I made weird little icons for the friendly NPCs. That's what these... I mean, it looks probably more like a boat with two sails or something, but it's supposed to be a smiley face. Those are friendly NPCs. These are supposed to be chests. I tried drawing like an isometric chest and completely failed. The ones with question marks are because I'm not sure if those were random, or, I mean, I'm not really sure of any of them, but these two I moved on to that square, and there was a chest, and then I didn't open it, and I backed off and went back, and the chest was still there, whereas this one was the first one I found, and I tried that, but when I backed off and then went back, the chest was not there. So that makes me think it was probably just a random chest, but I don't know if that's what the deal is. This one over here, I didn't back off, I just opened it right away. That was the second one I came to, because this one had disappeared, so I was like, well... So yeah, so I don't know if that's a permanent one or not. I think these two probably are, but I don't know. This is a pentagram. I already drew that yesterday. So that's... Oh, and I made the grid lines a little more pronounced, I think, or less annoying. Thicker, but less dark, I think. I don't know. Oh, and I changed the fill for the filled in areas that are solid. So anyway, we're I'm right here, actually, in the game. So I have to come out of this guard post, go north, and then into this final area where you smell the stench of death, and there's all these little dark alcoves, and we'll see what's in there. It seems like a threatening spot, but first I need to get this art tutorial thing out of the way. So, actually, every day on the Steam discussion forum, somebody comes in and says, this game is using art stolen from Buried Borns, which apparently is a very popular game on Steam. It's free to play, so I guess that explains it. And then they make various threats or ignorant statements. And the art is not made for it. This game got the art from the same place that Buried Borns got the art, which is an online archive where an artist who made the art for a free Java-based Wizardry clone called Javardry. It's Japanese. The artist is Japanese. he made all this art and he put it online for free download, and he said if you bother to Google Translate the text under his profile there, he explains that he made it free for all uses, commercial and otherwise, except for like very specific ones which he cites. And so yeah, people just, you know, people don't know what's up. I did, when I found that archive about 3 or 4 weeks ago, because I found out about Javardry. I downloaded all the high-res Javardry character art, and then I removed the ones that the artist said were not completely public domain. And so I'm going to show you how to recreate the look of Demon Lord Reincarnation, basically what the game does to that artwork. So in fact, the Demon Lord developer didn't even change the name of some of the art from the source art, or some of the names from the source art, which are probably the names of the character types in Javardry, but I'm not sure about that. So if I just look up Executioner, oh look, it's a bunch of Executioners. Now the letters are all color swaps. I think the one I want is E. No, that's probably not it. Maybe it was, heck. Maybe it was D. Maybe. Okay, well, let's see. I'll put you on here. Now these are high resolution. These are 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels. I'm running a 1080p screen, so I only need, 1080 resolution. So I'm going to shrink this down to 1000 pixels. And then, so if we look at this character from the screenshot of the game, you can see there's a number of things going on here versus the original art. One is that the art has been converted to black and white. Another is that it's been pixelated, or pixelated? Anyway, yeah, so it's big chunky pixel look. It's got, a color that's been laid over it. It's been blurred. It's then got this vertical and horizontal dot pixel pattern, like a CRT style monitor thing on it. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and unfortunately this is Photoshop, and even though it's an ancient version of Photoshop from 1996, which happens to be the year that I graduated from art school and decided to teach myself how to do commercial illustration, it should have the tools to do this. So the first thing to do is convert it to black and white. You can do that with one of my favorite adjustment layers, which is a threshold layer. And here you can see it converts it to black and white. And just need to pick the point where you want the conversion to occur between black and white. This is looking pretty good. Do we make the pommel? Let's go like this. That's pretty good, right? Okay, so we've got that. So we've got our art has been made black and white. That's good. That's the first step. It's pixelated though, so mine is not that pixelated right now. In fact, mine is very high definition, even though I already cut its resolution in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this, and I'm going to shrink it again. Now I did some experimentation with this, and at first I thought I'll just shrink it by half, but that didn't get it chunky enough. So I'm actually going to shrink it by I'm going to shrink it down to 33.33%, which is 333 pixels, conveniently, since it's 1,000. But anyway, we're going to do that. Then we're going to... Oh, I know I did that wrong. Gosh dang it, the most... Okay, you have to put it on nearest neighbor so it comes out chunky and not smooth. We need big chunks. And I need to set this to percent. Okay. So now it's tiny, and when we size it back up using that same nearest neighbor pixelization thing. Not that big. There we go. Notice that it's all chunky now because we shrunk it down tiny. Okay, so that's good. Let's put this into a 1080p frame. God, I can't do anything right. Come on. Make the background black. Okay. Okay, looking good. So there's the color that we need to get. There's, what we want to do first here. Oh, actually, there's another thing. Well, there's a bunch of things. One thing is that it's blurry. So let's blur it up. Let's copy. This is old Photoshop, so I can't just do a blur on a layer and have it be undoable. So I just copy the layer. So I have my non-blurry one. I'm going to blur this one. I'm going to duplicate this. I don't want to screw up my original art. Get out of here. I'm going to save this because, you know what? This version of Photoshop likes to crash when it's doing blur effects. That is kind of the one thing it's really bad at. Let's save it as live. I can't even type. I'm just going to hit random keys, I guess. Cool. Okay. So let's blur it and hope we don't crash. I'm not going to apply a ton of blur, so it should be okay. 1.2, radius 1.2 on the Gaussian blur. So there we go. We're blurry now. So it's starting to look a little more like it. I guess, my threshold was a little darker, so some of those lines are thicker. That's okay. Now, let's see, I've got the blur. Oh, okay, so this is the part that took me the longest to figure out how to kind of reproduce. And it's weird. It's a surprisingly subtle touch, but if you look at this, there's some kind of color shifting going on. On the right edge of our white areas, or our light areas, there's this bluish green color. And on the left-hand side of the light areas, there's this brownish red color. So it's like I don't know, is that some kind of chromatic aberration or simulating color bleed or something from an old monitor? I don't know. And I thought maybe the developer had used some kind of fancy pixelization filter to do that, but I don't think they probably didn't, or if they did, it was just some action somebody had made using basic operations, because I found out how you can do that. So notice I do not have fancy colors here that do that. So how do I get those? Well, I need to fill this in. I need to fill my background in, I think. Actually, wait. Do I? Maybe I don't. Let's pretend I don't. Okay, so you can do color shifts with adjustment layers called hue and saturation. Hue/saturation. If we're doing color shift on black and white, we may as well use colorize because that's kind of more powerful. In fact, you might need to do it on grayscale stuff that way. And you can see that you can just slide this slider over to get all the colors of the rainbow, basically. So if I want a bluey green, it's somewhere around here. This probably... Actually, I think I can take this all the way to the middle. Okay, that's way too green. Where's my blue? Okay. Can I just do... Maybe I'll just do that much. I don't know. Okay, but that's hitting the whole, that's hitting left and right. So how do I stop it from hitting how do I stop it from putting blue on the left-hand side, because this one only has the bluey green on the right-hand side. Well, what you can do is you can take the base artwork. I'm going to select all. I'm not using a keyboard shortcut, so you can kind of follow what I'm doing for some of this anyway. And now I've selected the whole image. Oh, I'm going to turn this off. Selected the whole thing, and I'm going to say define pattern. I'm doing that because now I can fill this hue saturation layer with a black and white pattern of my figure by using fill pattern. There they are. So now it won't use, it won't do that color in areas that are covered by the dark part of the figure. So if I nudge this over, oh wait, I gotta deselect, select none. Now you won't be able to see this because I'm nudging, so I'm holding control and then hitting cursor keys, and I always forget if I have to go left or right. That was to the left, so now I have to nudge to the right a couple pixels. There we go. So now I've shifted my what would you call this? I don't know what names are. It's basically a layer mask within this adjustment layer, and it's basically because it's the same shape as the figure, but now I've nudged it over. It's only allowing that color change to affect these pixels. I've nudged it over 2 pixels to the right, I guess. So now we've got dark areas on this mask that are saying don't color here. And then I can do the same kind of thing to get in fact, I can just clone this and then just change the color to something in the reddy brown arena. I'll turn this off for now. And now I'm going to nudge this over to the left. 4 pixels. Yeah. It's a little too red, isn't it? Let's make it a little more yellowish. Okay. Okay, so if I put those both on, now we're getting that weird look, right? And it's very subtle. I mean, it's kind of amazing that anybody, would bother doing that, because you barely notice it. And like if I turn those layers off, it's really hard to see that anything happened, but it's there, and it just gives it a sort of, well, I guess they're going for an old CRT look. Basically, it gives you some kind of less dead look. It's like there's some kind of energy going on here, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. So we've done that. Now we still need to get this pattern, this sort of scan line or dot pitch or whatever pattern here, and then the color. So I'm going to do the color last. So let's take a look at this dot pitch. Now what we've got here is a very small pattern. You can see like this basically. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's basically the whole pattern. You can see there is some variance within the pattern, and I guess there is some noise going on there, isn't there? Not gonna worry about that. Not right now anyway. So what this pattern looks like it consists of is horizontal lines that are 2 pixels high and 2 pixels apart, and they're black lines, which have been set to a low opacity. And then you've got vertical lines that are the same width, 2 pixels, but separated by just 1 pixel in between. So that's a simple pattern to make, right? So let's go ahead and make that. Hello, giant head. I zoomed in way too much. Okay. Okay, so I get my line tool. I'm going to hold shift so it'll make straight lines. And I'm going to set my line width on 2. Make sure we are not aliased, or not anti-aliased. And I'm going to make a new layer to do this on. And we're going to say, okay, give me a vertical line. Give me another vertical line with 2, the same space in between, right? Wait, no, it's not. That's horizontal. Vertical, I need just 1 pixel in between. Okay, I'm going to make a second layer. I'm doing this order because that's how I did it earlier. And if I do it different, I'll get confused. Now I need horizontal lines. This time I leave 2 in between. Okay. And notice that the horizontal lines are darker. And I think when I messed with matching this, when I was figuring out how to do this today, I think I set the horizontal lines. Did I get that right? Is that 2? Yeah, okay. I set the horizontal lines to opacity 10. Hello. Normally I would just hit 1 on the keyboard. And I set the vertical lines to 5. So half of the... I'm just going to typo 5 for Pete's sake. Oh no, I'm on my line tool, so that screwed that up. Okay. With nothing else, it would take a number. I'm going to hit 05, and that changes the layer opacity to the... Okay, so now we've got horizontal lines at 10 opacity, vertical lines at 5 opacity. It looks approximately like it might be something that we got going on there. And then the other thing would be the color. So I need another layer. I'm going to get my eyedropper tool. Now there is some color variation going on here. In fact, like there's a blue. Yeah, it's a more complicated pattern because there's like blue lines. Unless I'm hallucinating, there's like 3 pixel wide blue lines here. One's here, one's here, one's here. So these are, it skips like 3. And then it has 2. And then you would skip 3 and a half, but then it doesn't do that over here. It skips way over here to do it. So it's some kind of more complicated pattern for these faint blue vertical lines. I'm not going to worry about those. Actually, maybe this is red. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. It looks like there's red and then blue, red, blue, red, 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 blue, red, blue. What? Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. We're not gonna, that's a little too subtle for this. So this one looks red. This one might be base color. And you could see this if you look at here. So this is like 206, 200, 172. This is, yeah, more red, 210. This is more blue. This one looks, no, that looks red. Heck, okay, the neutral ones are over here, I think. Well, who knows? Anyway, this looks roughly neutral. So I'm going to pick this color. Did I get that right? And just fill a whole layer with that. I didn't do that right. I filled with a pattern. I always make that mistake. Okay, and then I've got my lines, so I need to make a pattern out of these lines. But I'm going to do that after I combine them with that color layer. Now I'll make my pattern. So I really just need Keep this bit here. Define pattern. And now I make a layer and just fill it with that pattern. Boink. And because I actually do need to see the stuff under this, I set it to multiply. See if that looks about right. Pretty close. Again, my baselines are a little darker because of where I set the threshold, I think. But other than that, pretty good. Okay, so... in fact, that threshold's kind of bothering me. Was it Executioner D? Do this real quick. How light can I go? See, but then I lose that. Like, you notice this guy has this heavy shadow under his shoulder blade. And I wanted to keep that. It might just be that maybe the game dev used a different palette or something. That's as light as I can go and keep that shoulder blade line, and it's still darker. So maybe there's some additional step they did, or maybe they just adjusted the colors themselves with something. I don't think this is going to come out any different than the one I already did. Oh, did I do by Q? No, I don't think I did. I always forget if I did that or not. Okay. Oh, well, it didn't. Why? How? Why did I come out off center? That's annoying. Oh, probably because... I guess it came out a little different. Okay, let's try that one. So, get rid of you. Gonna re-blur you. Hope better save. Do the Gaussian blur. Check this thing. We're gonna select all. Define pattern. Fill. And nudge over 2 pixels. Fill you. Nudge over the other way 2 pixels. And there we go. A little lighter maybe. Turn this on. It's still a little darker, so I don't know, but anyway. Let's see what else. Well, that's the figure, but then there's also the background. And, check out this background here. This background is surprising. Now, you notice we did that horizontal and vertical 2 pixel wide lines for the dot pattern over the figure. That's not the same dot pattern in the background. The background is vertical lines 1 pixel wide with a half is opaque 1 pixel line next to those, and then a 1 pixel gap, and then it's got noise, slightly greenish tinted colored noise on it. So we can do that in Photoshop too. So we're gonna, I forget if I did this over. Okay. Gonna make a new layer. Gonna make some more lines. Gotta make some white lines. I need 1 pixel width. And we make a line. Then we make a line 3 pixels to the left. And then we make... Actually, I don't need that line. That's getting gratuitous. I do need another line next to it. I could save myself the trouble here. Let's just give myself 50% opacity. And make a second line. Ta-da. I think that's all okay, so... Turn this other chunk off. Define a pattern. Three pixel pattern. Turn this layer off, turn this other stuff back on. Select nothing. New layer. Fill. It's my new pattern. Voila! I've got lines. They're a little too dark, you may say, or too light. What if we set them at 10% opacity? So now the main vertical line, the brighter vertical line, is 10% opacity. The more faint vertical line next to it, which I did at 50% opacity originally, is now 50% at 10%, because that's the current layer's opacity, so it's 5% opacity. None of that matters a whole lot, but so that's kind of looking like we're getting somewhere. But you see, you lose it in that noise. You also get interesting Moiri patterns. Like, look at that at a certain zoom level. That's just how, it's just how shrinking stuff down works and approximating. So I need noise. And it's got to be noise that is both darkening and lightening the lines. So that means I'm gonna need there's always multiple ways to do stuff in Photoshop, but I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a black layer, filled it just with black, and let's make a copy of my lines in case I don't want to recreate them if I screw something up. And just merge the lines down onto this black layer. And set the black layer to lighten. So that means it's going to lighten up all the dark areas, but it won't affect areas that are already lighter than 10% white. So it doesn't affect the foreground of the figure, but it fills in all the black areas. Which is basically what we see here. So now about that noise. Noise is pretty simple. I'm not going to bother cloning again. Let's just lay in some noise. Give me that noise. Add noise. 14 that's too much. I experimented a lot to get something that approximated it. What did I say I was using? Gaussian 8. So we're going to go down to 8, and we're using Gaussian blur. Why does it default back to uniform? Gaussian blur, which is just a messier, clumpier blur. And we're keeping it colored. Not going to make it monochromatic because there is weird color variation back there. And so we do that. And now we notice that this is too sharp. So, I'm going to hit it with a simple blur. Okay, that's looking pretty close, right? Except this is greeny, right? So and it's also a little lighter. So, I think I did this right. Oh, well. Oh, I didn't. Nuts. I shouldn't have combined the black layer and the lines. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna redo this real quick. I still got my lines. We're gonna keep... Wait, then how do I... Past self, tell me how I did that. Oh no, I did. Oh, don't... Oh, nuts. I did delete it already. Oh, well. Heck. Okay, I just had to redo that then. I was hasty, and I shouldn't have labeled my lines. Shouldn't have undone all that. So, fill with black. Just redoing what I did because I screwed up. Let's not delete my lines yet. Drop those down onto the black layer. Set this to lighten. And I ended up finding that about 70% opacity was good. And I'm gonna apply my noise filter at Gaussian 8. And then we're gonna hit it with that blur. Okay. So that's good, and the difference was that I'd left it to opacity 100% before, where I really want 70, and in fact, now that I remember, I want this multiply at 70 as well, I think. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was alright where it was. I thought I had this at 72. Oh, I don't. Oh, I have the lines at 70. What the heck? I don't know. Anyway, I've quickly and messily maybe gotten those lines slightly wrong. Slightly the wrong opacity. Oh, well, yeah, because the color needs to be there, but yeah, the lines are too dark. Gosh dang it. Okay, I gotta redo those. That's fine. This is an embarrassing tutorial again, that's fine. No problem. We can salvage it. What are you? Oh. Why? What? Who? How? Oh. To her, and, there, and then a new layer. This layer at 50%. Couple lines here. And, actually I only needed one line, didn't I? Actually, I only, yeah, well, I'm a silly person. I think I can just merge those now. guess we'll leave these unmerged. Yeah. Define pattern for these lines again. Select none. Let's go ahead and remove that. Fill with the pattern. Oh no, I did that. Because that can't be, oh dear. Basic problems in me figuring stuff out. I did this righter the first time. What should we say? Should we just do the 5% and the 10% again? And, oops. Those weren't merged. I'm gonna screw this up again somehow. See, that screwed it up. Oh yeah, I can't merge them. Well, I wonder if I can define the pattern then with... There must be some way to merge that correctly. I did it before. My brain is not functioning. Well, let's see if this works. That worked. Thank goodness. So you're on multiply, you're on... Well, you should be on multiply too, right? But we want you at 70% opacity this time. That should... Oh, that's just on darken. Which adds up to the same thing, I suppose. But see, when you try these lines on darken, that doesn't work because they're... Oh, it did work this... Well, I definitely screwed something up. Anyway, close enough. Let's bring the rest of our picture back on. Okay. Okay, those lines look about the right opacity now. Hooray, let's get rid of this junk. Hope I don't find that I screwed up something there again. I think I've got my vertical lines, so I don't need these. Original lines. And we're all pretty good except there's still that green lighter tint in the background. So that's going to go above everything. And that's just going to be a light colored green fill. Greenish blue. It might be a little too green. I don't know. Go ahead and fill that. Wait a second. I need it whiter. How did I do that before? Yeah. I know how color selection works. Yeah. It might be a little too white. Why did it... That was weird. Oh, I filled it with the pattern again. Sigh, someday I'll remember that. I don't use pattern fill a lot normally. But ding, now we just set this to lighten. No, not lighten. What was I doing before? Darken? No, that's not it either. Well, that's very green. I used lighten. Oh, 3%, right. I can never remember anything. Lighten. Really don't quite have the right color. It's close. I mean, it's not an exact science. And 3% opacity. There. Again, that's very subtle, but you notice it does lighten it up to about the same lightness. And it should have the approximately similar color tint. You can verify this if you're looking at like pixel colors. There's probably some more scientific way to pick it out, but anyway, it's approximately there. So yeah, so that's it. So that's quite a bit of junk, but it does come pretty darn close to the game. Probably would need to tweak these. Like this is a little too bright and green. This guy here. What did I actually go with over here? 166.50. Minus 166. It's a little closer. It's maybe still too green. Yeah, it was. Maybe minus 153. It's maybe too blue. 155. Sure. Also, it's not quite blurry enough. I couldn't quite get the right level of blur. If I tried to apply like Gaussian blur 1.3, then I would lose my my chunky edges. I want these, I need these chunky edges. But if I used even the next 0.1% or whatever it is of blur, it started smoothing it too much. So it's probably just a slightly different blur algorithm available in later Photoshops. Like there's generally more like sharpen and stuff options in later Photoshops. Like even I have Photoshop CS2 or whatever it's called, and that has more options in those areas. So it's probably something like that, just a slightly different blur that I don't have. But otherwise pretty close. And yeah, so that's my big tutorial. So hooray. What's this change I made here? Minus 155. Let's go with that over on my template that I'll be using for making my thumbnails. Okay. So that's fun. So the reason I did that is because I want to be able to have clean character thumbnails of characters who feature prominently in the episodes I make. And even if they're monsters and stuff, but you can't get a clean shot of a monster. The monsters who show up for the fights, you can't get a clean shot of them without the game UI overlapping part of their bodies. But if I look them up in the original character art, for instance, like a scorpion, good old scorpions, then you can get the full monster, and you can that's a big one. Hang on. Let's trim this off a bit. Oops. That's pretty close. Oh, wrong one. Oh, you're not gonna crash on me, are you? You wouldn't do that to me. I'm not going to bother with the color tinting process, but anyway, you get the idea. I mean, so there's a scorpion now in the mold, so that's fine. And I can make, I could make like a giant scorpion or whatever too, because that original art is super large. Or I could make a tiny scorpion. But yeah. So that's fun. Alright. So, let's actually stop dithering about with goofy hijinks in Photoshop that I have to redo 3 times as I try to show off. And get to adventuring. We should be good to move off, so here goes. And I immediately feel lost. But oh yeah, I'm going this way. Heading north, now east. Here is the last chamber on floor 1. I can't remember if I explored those nooks. I don't think I did. Oh, there's another chamber. Oh, this is very dark. Oh my gosh. Our later dungeon level's just gonna be like pure black. Uh-oh. That's not so bad. So there's a trap there. How would I mark a trap? I think I'll just put an X. Oh, that's a very bad X. Oh, I don't have snap to grid on, I bet. We better put that on. Oh, I didn't have the actual grid on. Okay, try that again. Not in white. Hey, hey. Okay, so now we've got... Oh, no. I need a thicker line, baby. No, not a black... Okay, I'm a little... Still on my character tutorial settings. It's terrible. Give me that 4. Give me, I think I was aliasing. I guess I wasn't. Was I? Nope. Sure wasn't. Give me this here. I'm still on. Golly, jeepers. Wait a second. Why aren't you snapping now? You gotta snap. Okay, well, there was much dismay. Why did the one come out thicker than the other? What the heck? That came out ultra thick. Oh well. I'll have to redo that later. Oh no, it's doing that one-off thing that it did yesterday. Why is it doing that? Okay, it looks like that's the way this is gonna go. Yeah, it's another 4 chambers. Hey. Okay, now we have to leave it and turn around. It's still there, so that is presumably a permanent chest. But who knows? Oh, I see. I think I saw a door there. Oop. Okay, now my chest. Why can't I get my chest at a satisfactory height? I don't know. What a shambles. Oh, I was making those marks on the wrong layer even. In that case, I can just cut it. And merge you down. Okay, got that sorted out. I mean, so I found a trap one of these yesterday and I drank some bogus potion. Are these going to even out in the long term, or are they going to... So Ari is my highest dexterity. It worked. Yeah, chug that. So the general got a bad potion yesterday. Maybe this one will fix him up. Oh, good. Is that like maximum health, or who knows? I don't think those actually do like a ton. Oh. That's not is that a normal random encounter message? I don't know. If I run, if I go back, yeah, I think that was probably just a random encounter. I just don't remember seeing it say encounter like that before. You know, I just thought of something. So, shoot. So there's these 2 areas where I didn't find any. It seemed like I didn't find a door. But over here, I just happened to move into this wall, and I went through what was otherwise a blank wall. So it was like an invisible door. And there was this weird, like, meeting, quote unquote, of thieves and evil merchants going on. So I wonder if there's an invisible door somewhere around these. I'm gonna have to go try that now, because I can't not know. It's gonna be... I have these memories of when we were kids watching my brother. He was playing Eye of the Beholder and Eye of the Beholder 2. I think it was those he was playing. And he would just, he went just through every square of the dungeon, because they basically moved like this. Just through every square of the dungeon, just bonking his head, his party's head, off of the wall, off of every single wall, just about, to make sure that, you know, he was finding all the invisible doors. So is that what I'm going to do? I don't know. Anyway, here's a fight. We can do a fight. Not worry about that right now. Oh no, I was doing double cut. And wait a second. Oh, what? I don't have my... What? How did I manage that? Gosh dang it. What the heck happened to my... What happened to my health? Did I hallucinate? Did I go through a fight and not notice? I'm freaking out here. What the heck happened? Did I get in a fight and forget about it? Oh, I did. I don't remember. Man, senile. Okay, well, whatever. This is bad. I mean, serious senior moment here. This is just going to get worse and worse as time goes on. Oh my gosh. Everybody laughed at the goofball who's just losing his brain molecules. What do you call those? Synapses? No, that's not it either. I can't even remember words now. I'm losing my perspicacity. As Lisa Simpson famously said. Okay, don't start throwing sleeping powder. I hate that sleeping powder. Well, these goblins are very obliging now, because there's 12 more waiting right behind him. Alright. Was I on repeat of my war cry? I probably was. Oh, they're breaking wind on me, though. It's not so bad, it just looks bad. Oh, God. Maybe that's why there was a stench in here. Yeah. The stench of death. That was what? That was all the leveling up we got from that whole gosh darn fight. Okay, well fortunately, we've got all these nice little alcoves to rest in, and probably not get attacked, because the more walls are surrounding you, the less you get attacked, because I guess if you're just in this little alcove, the monsters don't notice you snoozing in here or something. Okay. Oh, heck. More mages. Well, now we got our skill points. You guys are in more trouble than that last bunch. Yeah. Can't believe those last two didn't kill a mage. Poison. They do poison mist? I thought that was just scorpions. Okay. Kaboombo. Oh. Let's do another war cry, why not? Oh, I should have attacked the goblins. Oh, hey, that was a good one. Did the goat man blind me? So I checked the manual, and it is intentional that only the leader can issue the repeat and escape commands. It seems weird to me, but that's just the way they want it, I guess. So if your leader is KO'd, you know, like paralyzed or something, you can't run. Whereas if they die, then I think the next person behind them on the list of characters becomes the leader, and then maybe you can run? I don't know. The whole running mechanic is a little weird in this game, I gotta say. I mean, not that I mind being able to run from every fight, except boss fights without danger. It's just a little strange. Okay, what's the best way to get over there to this one? I guess I'll just loop around here. Of course, you never know. Maybe it's like activating a torch or hitting some secret thing somewhere that opens the secret things along the wall, or a teleporter or something. Probably can't. Oh, there it was. Well, I was right. That's a new one. I mean, me being right. Well, now I gotta fix my... So... Sheesh. Oops. So there's a secret door, and maybe I should have some clever way of denoting secret doors, but I don't know. I think it's kind of funnier if I just make it look like a regular door, then somebody following the map would be like, wait, what? This is wrong, and then we'll see if they figure out what to do, you know? So is there anything in here? I don't think turning uses a turn or anything, right? There is a treasure chest, but is it a random chest? Nope. Okay. Where is my duty thing? Here we go. It's right there. Okay. A suspicious tone. So Aiden had fun last time, and he's at least even. Let's have the dwarf read it. Although maybe it's based on intelligence. I don't know who the smartest is. They're all surprisingly smart since I've been just raising random stats, basically. Oh yeah. So the general is intelligence 32. Regis is only 24, even with that boost. Ares 35. Lawrence 38. So I guess Ares was the right guy to get that little IQ boost. Oh yeah, how do I get out of here now? So wait, I am here. Oh right, there's the torch. I made it. Okay, so now there's the big goon over here. Well, Where's the door most likely to be if there is one? I don't know. I ambushed them. It said they approached me. Whatever. Dropping intelligences. There's a lot of intelligence shifts in this game. Kind of a scary concept. Like, what if you could just... Well, I guess you... I mean, that's the whole idea, so you get hit hard in the head and you get stupider, but... What if you could just go read a random book and it raised your intelligence immediately? That'd be sweet. I guess that's telling us to learn to read and read books. What about reading the internet? Does that count? Did I raise my intelligence reading the internet today? Probably not. Oh, that was a... Oh, I'm repeating my war cry. Oh, no. I got all kinds of forgetfulness tonight. Oh, like that. Yeah. Oh, here's some scorpions. I just photoshopped you, scorpions. It was fun. Ow. Well, is that how you repay me? I even made you larger than game size. Fine. You want to hide behind the UI and be tinier. Spray me with your poison mist. You know those evil mages, they're stealing your poison mist shtick. I think you should go have a word with them. Jeez. Stay on the scorpions, I guess. Everybody's poisoned. It's a poison party. Ooh. These scorpions are dropping like flies. Not in the temple. Don't you know a dwarf's temple is his temple? You got some good leveling out of that one. So I was going down south there. That spot with the friendly NPC would be a safe place to camp, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because, like, if I just hit rest here, I'll probably be attacked. Okay, I wasn't, but I was going to say if I am attacked, then I can just flee. So who cares? I don't really... I feel uneasy with that because it just seems like kind of... Some of it's kind of pointless, but... Oh, no. Okay, let's go in here first. Oh, you evil merchants. Like, if I really wanted to speed through this, I would just run away from all these fights, right? I'll do another one. I could have just hit repeat. I only won that time. Oh, maybe it doesn't actually stack. I think it does, though. I think I just got unlucky. Anyway. Well, maybe, I mean, that doesn't prove that it stacks, I guess. Oh, the snake oil. Oh, shoot. Okay, fine. Have at thee. Oh, that was pretty good. Mesmerize. Oh. Everybody's sleeping. Well, no, only have some party. What am I complaining about? Oh, boy, 4 health. Enjoy that one. Wave. Make up your minds. You dingbats. Wind cutter. That's the latest rage in Mageland. Wait, is that like the goblins? You've been hanging around goblins too much, mages? We survived. So this room had a little fixed encounter here next to these tombstones, and then had a chest here. Now, oh, I guess I wanted to. So that would be. No. Oh, hello. Oh, it's a tiny room, though. A very tiny room. Okay, well, I gotta clear out this old junk. If I was using a specialized mapping program, this kind of thing would be a little easier. See, now I've got a stray. Well, maybe I don't. No, it's fine. Oh no, I did miss that. Oh no. So we've got this little guy here now. So that means there's more secret doors? Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Is that right? Am I facing south? This would be super confusing without, you know, keeping a map or something. Okay. Well, time to bonk against more walls. There we go. Oops. Right. Jeez. This is sick. Hi. Oh, shoot. I guess I didn't need to do that, did I? Oh my gosh. Is this just a honeycomb of Secret door, cells. It's looking like it. Sheesh. Guess I don't care about that wall. There it is. I mean, if I was worried about being completely... Well, then I'd have to bash my head against every single wall in the friggin' dungeon, so I guess I'm not going to bother with that. I am trying to stand on every square of the dungeon. So, like that. But see, if I was going to be really thorough, I would have bonked against these walls here. I forgot to rest. Miss it. I kind of like thieves. So, oh yeah, do your chicken dance. That's cool. You're gonna die fast anyhow. Oh, what? Oh. Oh. Okay, now I'm annoyed. Bok, bok, bok. How can I... What are they doing this to my paralyzed guys? Oh, the sleeping powder. Nobody... I didn't get to use my war cry. Oh yeah, there we go. Bye. Jerks. Oh heck. I'm really blowing the war cries. Bother. These are both annoying enemies. Well. Oh, paralyzed. Paralyzed is one of the worst ones because I think you don't get hit out of it if somebody attacks you, and it seems to last a long time. These guys are just having all kinds of fun on my face. Okay. Ari's pretty messed up though. Is confused. I looked up confused. That just means you like get orders, you miss orders once in a while or something. I'd have to look at the exact phrasing. Anyway. Of course, the leader's the one presumably giving the orders, so whatever. Now I completely forget where I am and what I was doing. I'm at 18 over 6 up facing west. Okay, right. Oh, I didn't rest. Well, Alright, guys. There's plenty here for you. Ooh. I thought at first a scorpion did a chicken dance. That would be amazing. You know, if they're gonna hang out all the time, couldn't the scorpions learn that dance eventually? Oh, the sleeping powder. Oh, not gonna get much done this round. Go. My leader's paralyzed. That means I can't run. I got 9 thieves stabbing me. Not to mention the scorpions. Dark. Oh. Oh, I interrupted his throw. Sweet. There are, like one of my characters has a deflect slash or something like that it says I think in the FAQ it says that the deflect abilities can actually block an incoming attack from hitting all characters or something. So if I remember correctly, oh, so there's nothing there. So now I'm down here. Wonder what the odds are that there's an invisible door in the south wall of this chamber. There was. Yeah. It's a very dark corner. A treasure chest. Well, it stayed there too. Okay. Maybe was I just because I watched the video back, it sure looked like one of those earlier chests wasn't there when I moved back to it. But since then, they've all been there. So, I don't know. Maybe I got confused every time I tried looking at that. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, did we all just lose some hearing too? So we just got to boost, let's already do it. Oh, sweet. I didn't rest. Or something. Oh, heck. Smoking these goats. Oops. Oh, look at all the confusion. Oh, come on, guys. 17? That sucked. Swiftly deflected. Doing some sucky damage. Well, I must need some other kind of melee damage or whatever, you know. Or maybe I was just getting unlucky, I don't know. 3 goatmen died. Oh. Hell, let's just do it. Wow. That was a good one. Shoot. $400. My dwarf is buff. Oops. At least there were some places that didn't require an invisible door. Oh, a pentagram. Okay. I won't repeat my pentagram drawing heroics from yesterday. I'll just copy the one I made yesterday. Because how could I possibly draw another pentagram that sweet? Well, so there weren't any unused parts of the map. It's just chock full of fun. So, the only part I have not been in is this part right here. I'm not going to step on that pentagram. I think it'll just do the same thing the other pentagram did, which is just a tiny amount of damage. The pentagrams have a use later if this works like the Game Jam version Demon Lord worked. I won't spoil it though. It's a good twist. Oh man, you missed my privates. Does that mean I have small privates? Maybe they're just agile. Oh, that was a good one. I wonder if he's leveled that up. I should check that. Oh, let's not do it over there. The poke in the eye. I mean, technically it should say blinded instead of blind. You know, blind usually implies more of a permanent situation. I guess technically, you can recover from being blind, so you could say that you're temporarily blind. I don't know, I'm no doctor. 13 slimes. That's a lot of slimes. They're dying real fast. Oh, the sleeping powder. Snoozy nap time. Oh, put me asleep and then spit acid on me. That's my idea of fun. You silly slime. Wow! I love these crazy sounds. That little sort of whooshing sound as you come into a hallway is just pretty excellent. Oh, I didn't check the level of my war cry. So in the future, I will not mark an area as shaded out, nothing here until I've double checked that there's no, you know, invisible doors or whatever. I could easily have missed that. I mean, I don't know why I moved into that invisible door yesterday, which led to that thief and evil merchant meeting. It just seemed like a strange abrupt end in a hallway, I guess. I haven't seen butchers in a while. I think I'm more annoyed by scorpions. Anyway, scorpions die faster. I could do Temple Strike, but yeah, there's that deflect slash. That only costs 1. Try that. I don't know. Oh, it's an AoE. Maybe it doesn't get used unless somebody attacks me. Okay, I got attacked with an AoE, so maybe that doesn't count. No, it should count. He just didn't counter it. Because the developer said they can deflect AoEs. I don't know, that's where it gets more complicated. I just want to bash stuff. Oh, that's handy. It's funny how the level up happens before you use the skill. Oh, he did deflect something anyway. I got confused. There's just all kinds of status effects inflicted in this game. Check your status, butchers. Your states, your state high, your statty. I'm just babbling now. Didn't that say a wave was... Maybe not me. Where the heck am I? I think I'm coming out of there. Okay, let's pretend that's what's going on. I didn't rest. No rest for the senile. I mean, you recover a little SP and HP after a battle automatically, but not a ton. As long as you win the battle, that is. If you run, then you don't get any recovery. Oops. Oh, I'm gonna do war cry again. Unless I fall asleep like that. Thanks, goblins. Oh my gosh, they're just going sleep powder crazy. Sheesh. I gotta hit him though. Okay, we got one. Darg. I was scared for a second. I thought my intelligence went down. I was like, oh no. I can't withstand any intelligence drops. That's happening all too commonly. Just trying to use Photoshop. I'm losing brain cells. Apparently. Oh yeah. Oh, 14 thieves. Yeah, you guys. You can throw 99 at me. Let's go ahead and do it, you chickens. Do your chicken dances too. There you go. Yeah. My dexterity is going to go down to nothing. I guess it's the idea there that thieves like you to be like that, makes you easier to hit. Wow, they died super fast, so then they get easier backstabs or whatever. If you're on clumsy victims. But my dexterity is already it seems just ridiculously high from all this grinding I did. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we're crushing it. Was I heading north? Let's, to see my war cry. Oh, it was right there. War cry 1. Well, it leveled up once. Around the guard post. Oh, I could have rested there. I should rest. Hi, buddy. Oh. I'm a ghost. Okay, see ya. Maybe the cross swords are the signs of the guards. So it's the guards who put them up. I guess that would make a little more sense than it being monsters who put them up. Alright, the pit. Good old pit. I wonder, is it just like my front? Well, I was Aiden and there is no rank, so it's... Oh, another pit. I didn't go through there earlier. That was negligent of me. Wait. Okay. Oh, what? You're not a line tool. You're a marquee tool. Okay. Is that two eyes staring back at me? I mean, what could that possibly be? How is this hallway so long? Oh, maybe I... Oh. Why did I draw that line there? Oh, shoot. There's more area here that's probably... Well, I wonder how much of this is connected to here and how much might be hidden behind secret walls. I guess we'll find out. Nope. Why did I draw that there before? Okay. Nope. No. Oh no. Oh, I'm not on Snap. Hmm. Whoa. Ooh. It's just gonna spiral in on itself. Dang it. I did that wrong. Oh gosh, dang it. Arg. I could have just done that with a white line. Well, nobody said I was a pro. Oh, that's very dark. Oh dear. Is that a wall? Why don't I have a torch? Why doesn't my party have a light source? Oh, it's a pretty weak scripted encounter. Arg. Oh, that wall's off. Dang it. No. Oh. I wish the snapping didn't get like a pixel off somehow. That wall's off. That wall's off. Ah. I'm just gonna have to live with it. I didn't mean to be this fussy. I started getting a little too fussy. Okay. And wait a second. I forget which square I was in. Did this go up? Let's just see after we kill these silly goofballs. $11.16, so that's here. Oh, gosh dang it. Keys, okay. So that's an encounter. That's 16. Beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a random encounter. Do we get eggs out of this deal? Oops. Oh no, I'm doing Warcry again. Now we're double buff. Oh no, I'm doing Warcry again. I gotta stop doing that. Oh, dude. Okay, that's enough of that. $111. Scorpion trying to poke me in the eye. Wow. 4 scorpions in one hit. We're on a roll. Oh, jeez. Ooh, interrupted that one. Oh, look at all the confusion. Confusion? That's what I'm trying to say. Come on. They're just chipping away at me with these stupid AoE slicing attacks. They confuse for some reason. So many whirling blades. You jokers. Ooh. Okay. Wow, Regis barely got scratched. Jerk. Scorpions. 100, just straight up hundo. Cow. You silly goofballs. Oh, come on. How can you miss them? They're right there. They're giant scorpions. 106. 105. Oh, this should be interesting. I haven't seen a skeleton in a while, have I? Don't do as much damage. Oh, 97. Oh, well, heck, I guess I do. I was gonna say I don't do as much damage to skeletons as I do to scorpions, but that theory appears to be wrong. Maybe you might have just, like, overcome their damage resistance with just the sheer large numbers. Jeez. Yeah. You 8 mages though in a third wave, that's a pain. can you do at this point? Gotta fight on. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Ooh. Yeah, have fun with that. Guess it's hard to cast spells when you have a big gash in your head. You're taking actual brain damage. That's pretty gruesome. Brain damage in a fantasy game. Good leveling off those chumps. Okay. Well, here, this is it. Is this going to be a stairway or what? It's got to be a stairway, right? 17? Is this a scripted encounter with 17 imps? No, that's not scripted. It just said someone's ahead. That's random. I think. You 17 random imps. This should be interesting. Oh, just kick me in the nards over and over. You'll find I can take a lot of kicks to the chunk. That's... You toughen up after you've been fighting in a dungeon for a while. Like my privates are like just steel. Cold, hard steel. There's a lot of rumbling going on. Wait, am I repeating the... Oh, heck. I did it again. Well, we're real buff now, though. Like, there's a lot of that sound going off. Yeah, you think? No. Yeah. Well, that's... I need intelligence increase, that's for sure. I mean, me personally. Okay. Oh, I saw something weird. Oh, it's a ladder. A ladder. I don't suppose I can rest in that square. Because it'll just pop up a thing. Well, no, because if I say no, then I should be able to rest in that square, right? I guess let's find out. So that is a stairway down. I think I'm probably gonna have to narrow my outfit. Cool. Well, aside from the question I have about those two chests, as far as I know, that's it for the first floor. I have to find out where I'm going to label the first floor. It'll depend on if I have a consistent free spot, like in the top row or something in the other floors. I have to remember to do that at some point. Okay. Oh no. How long have I been drawing at 99% opacity? Oh no, that's terrible. Are you kidding me? That is like the worst newbie move. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that one's fine. Oh my goodness. Oh no, that one's wrong. That one's wrong. How about over here? That one's okay. That one's wrong. This pentagram should be probably okay, yeah, because I copied that well. That's wrong. That's... It's all wrong. It's all at 99. That one isn't. So sometime between drawing that and drawing these. Well, simple enough to fix. I just gotta... gotta remove these extra pentagrams now. I don't want those multiplying themselves. Since those have some aliasing. Okay, that should do her. Okay, good. Okay. Sheesh, 99% opacity. Come on. How the heck did I do that anyway? What other stupid Photoshop mistakes can I make today? Okay, so let's move on to the ladder. Right, so I can stay, and I can rest on top of the ladder, and I think that'll still count as me being in a safe spot, or a almost completely safe spot, so... yeah, it worked out. Now, another thing that I think I've gleaned is that the suggestion that on other floors the color tint is different, so... like those colors that I picked for matching the colors in the game screenshot. You know, this like green, I wonder if that tint could change, and certainly this main color fill would change. But then also, what about these tints here? Will those change, or since these are sort of procedural, will this hue still sort of roll over the background color to the correct matching color? I don't know if the color changes. We dare, sir. Yeah, it's like a definite amber color now. Orangey. So I should still be at the same coordinates. 12, 13. Oh, I see that. I don't know what B stands for, but I guess the 2F means second floor. Maybe B is for dungeon, whereas maybe there was an A for the ground floor. I don't remember. We got different music. It's very chill here. You can go away. I need a new floor. I mean, I had a thought of like making the maps color coded to kind of match the color of the level, but I don't know. That's something I'll do at the end if I have some good idea. So, like, not sure I can spot those greener lines now, or the redder ones, or maybe that was all hallucination. But it's a darker color. See, which is the background? Is it this orange or is it the green? Oh, this is confusing. I mean, if it is a multiply, then it would be the lighter color, but that green looks weird. It would have to be the lighter one. Well... Oh, that's why I left the lines separate, of course. Oops. I meant to make a question mark, maybe. Whatever. And then is the tint... Is the tint different on the background? Doesn't really look like it. Yeah, it's still... yeah, probably still greenish blue for the most part. I think so. Well, that makes it easier. So it's... Well, and then the... This color shift looks this... oh. Yeah, it looks the same. Mine still doesn't quite match, but maybe... More saturation. I wonder if that changed. I don't know. I feel like that did change. Where's my... Although that screen grab I had was from video. I could have lost some saturation because of video compression. It wasn't lossless video. Sloppy. Let's in fact do a quick move back up. This is the old color. It's funny how, like, would it just torches just burn a different color on a different floor, you know? Nice clean screen grab. Why did that stay? Did I not get a fresh grab? Did my print screen not? No, it didn't. Why is print screen flaky on my computer? There it is. And saturation still looks about... Okay, so I guess I just didn't have enough saturation and it was harder to see on this less saturated fill color. Okay, so I don't have to change this color for the background greenish tint. All I have to change per floor is going to be... And I don't have to change these chromatic aberration things or whatever. All I got to do is change this one thing. So that's handy. Cool. I thought it was going to be more complicated. So floor 2. It's very chill music. What? So this goes up. I should probably turn off snap when I do that. Close enough. No, it's not. That would annoy me. Oh no. Beautiful, it's floor 2. The amber colored floor 2. Holy kerbopple. Is that just a torch in the middle of the floor? That's a new twist. Oh no. Come on, lines, what? Oh. That would do it. Okay, I gotta go. I'm not gonna get too deep into floor 2 tonight. It's a little torch thing. I wonder if this is like a campfire. Oh, it's new doors, too. New walls? New doors? Sweet. All this for $7 and, what was it, 19 cents or something? I guess that's not a campfire I can stand on because it's not in the middle of a tile. Sheesh. This music's so chill. Wait, did I get that? I didn't get that right. I already screwed my map up. Wait, I did. What? That's 10. Oh. Sigh. Gotta learn this side grid shortcut. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Should we go in the one door? Oh, lovely. Nice little place to rest. Which I don't need to do. But yeah, it's kind of a little base camp here at the start of the level. That's nice. Well, it's a good place to save, just in my little cubby hole. What a pleasant place this floor 2 is. You've got chill music, you've got a little nook to rest in. What could be? Well, this floor is looking up. I mean, this floor was a mess. Look at all that junk you had to worry about. This floor's just gonna be nice and chill, right? What could go wrong? Well, they got all the same little monsters, nice safe battles for us. What a pleasant time this'll be. I see no problems ahead at all. This'll be great. I love how we're still, you always face slightly to the side, nothing straight in your view. It's crazy. What a fun adventure we're having with maps and Photoshop filters and screwing them up all the time. And killing a bunch of monsters. So floor 1 finally did get... I broke that power curve on floor 1 finally. It took a while. But now that I'm up to 400 friggin' hit points, kind of crushing floor 1. Look at my dwarf. 427 hit points. 61 vitality. Executioner, he doesn't have any 60 stats. The highest he's got is 52. His hit points is only 319. How many SP does the dwarf have? Executioner's got more SP. Look at all the SP the guardsman has. His highest stat's 52 also, though. Oh, Skull Splitter's at 3. I guess it's been leveled up for a while. Got a 56 vitality on the general here. Well, good times. Thanks for watching. I will probably be recording another episode of this tomorrow, which is Sunday. See how much of floor 2 I can get through. I don't think I'll have to do another Photoshop tutorial, so I should be able to get more actual dungeoneering done. I do like doing stupid stuff and making stupid mistakes in Photoshop, though. Yeah, fun times. Fun times with Photoshop. And Demon Lord Reincarnation. You get to put pentagrams on a map. How cool is that, man? Those were all the actual friendlies, right? There weren't any friendlies in here. Alright, forget floor 1. It's all about floor 2 now. Okay. Well, I love this music. I just want to keep chilling with the music, though. I guess I'll leave that on. Maybe I should just leave this on overnight, just fall asleep with my headphones on. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. We're just chillaxing on floor 2. It's going to be a chill time tomorrow, right? Probably just Probably won't have any monsters here, just maybe some NPCs to hang out with. Maybe a campfire too. Break out some s'mores. Maybe we could hang some more like guardsmen, cross swords banners around to decorate the dungeon up a bit. Although this dungeon is actually, this one's fancier down here. Look, they've got these complex wall structures going on. These little sort of column things around the doorways. We got these double doors. I mean, heck. This is like a higher level of technology down here on floor 2. No more like just arched hut style doorways for us. No, sir. We're on like elevators now. Is this an elevator? Am I in an actual elevator? There's no buttons. There is a torch. That's unusual in an elevator. Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you later.